few weeks, we have went into a journey through understanding how to create and develop and nurture a growth mindset. We have talked about managing rejection. We have talked about how do we manage our beliefs that hold us back. We have talked about resilience. We have also talked about, let me think, to ask questions. Today we wanted to discuss how to build self-esteem, because you've heard us say a lot that it all comes and starts with you. And of course, if it starts with you, you need to know yourself. Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
You look lovely.
Yeah, I went for a very, very, very long walk this morning. I think it was an hour to let go of all the anxiety and fear that had come in. And I'm like, oh, I don't want this anymore. You've got to go. And I know walking works wonders. So it took me a while to let go, but I did it. So here we are. Let's talk self-esteem.
Yeah, one of those days you did what you had to do. That's
right. How are you, baby? You look extraordinary. Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys.
Don't look extraordinary. It's just this lipstick.
Yeah, I want it. Okay. Do you
like cosmetics? They should pay me to wear it. Actually, I think.
Yeah, they should. Yeah.
It's
cosmetics.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Okay. We are talking about self-esteem today.
Yeah, and sometimes you have to put makeup on to feel more better.
It's interesting you say that, because as I was preparing for the live, I was thinking about my relationship with makeup.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because I was thinking about that from the perspective of self-esteem. And I realized that in my family, my mom always taught me to wear makeup to highlight things that I liked, but never to hide things. And I had a few friends who were using makeup to hide stuff like, I don't know, things they didn't like, change the shape of their face, but from a sense of, I don't like it, I want to change it. Whereas and I'm really, really pleased now that I think of it, my mom always told me to focus on the thing you like. Like, I like my eyes, so I always had that black line to emphasize on them.
I like your mom. Yeah, I do. Thank you.
Never realized how that actually helped my self-esteem, because she basically made me look at the thing that I liked, and that's it.
Awesome. I love it. Okay, so more self-esteem.
What is self-esteem?
What is self-esteem? Oh my goodness. I think it's it may just seem or mean something different to everybody. Like for me, it's the ability to do something that I don't quite yet know how to do. That lets me show up as I am. That enables me to break through barriers, regardless, how high they are. If I have enough self-esteem and I have enough belief in myself, I can get through this. Yeah, so that's self-esteem for me. Being proud of who I am and be okay not knowing everything. Yeah. What about you? What is it for you?
Well, it's interesting because the definition you gave for me is more my sense of confidence. Self-esteem for me is really loving myself. Whereas confidence for me is more what you said, knowing that I have the ability to find the resources and strength to get through whatever I'm trying to achieve. Regardless if it's by myself or if I will need help. I just know I have what it takes to get through that.
When we texted yesterday around what should we talk about today, and you brought up self-esteem, I'm like, oh, like right in the heart, because that has been something that I have been struggling with since I was a little girl, basically. Like I was always told, hey, you need to be louder, you need to shine brighter, you need to get more confidence and self-esteem in yourself and your abilities. And like, but how do I do that?
Yes.
Like, everybody told me that I needed it, but nobody helped me through the process.
Through the process.
And helped me understand that, hey, fear and not feeling it right away is actually walking alongside with you. You're not just going to wake up one day and feel confident the whole time. No, this is a muscle. This is something that you build up. This is something that you practice every single day, just like your tongue use and your plies. So I don't know. I still struggle somewhere with that, especially when I like look at my children and see them struggling with self-esteem. It's like, okay, how can I explain it to them? How can I help them that we are going to be here holding their hands, and like the worst that can happen is that it just doesn't go the way you want it to go, and that's okay too. It just doesn't make you less of a person. Unstoppable confidence. That's right, Lauren. Thanks for being here, girl. She's my sister. We know each other. Unstoppable. That's right. And for you, Lauren, particularly the way you stepped into your own confidence over the past 6 months was just so beautiful to watch. Yeah, I know you got me. Thank gosh.
Beautiful to see you out.
Okay, so when we particularly look at the dance scene, and when we're talking about confidence or self-esteem, I mean, there's a difference there. But what would you say that in an environment that maybe is not inducive or features furthers really being confident or gives you the steps, what are some things that you would recommend doing?
So at the macro level for the ballet world, I recognize that because we are trying to improve all the time and get better and push through our limits, we may tend to have way of talking that can actually impede our self-esteem by always talking about the negative. I know it comes from a place of love, and it comes from just trying to do our work and trying to go straight to the point, if I may say that pun. But so one thing that we could do at the macro level is to adopt some of the best practices in terms of giving feedback, which actually requires to balance the negative with the positive. And actually, when you look at the science behind that, it is not to boost self-esteem. It is to increase performance. Because when you are very clear with someone on what they do that is good and that is right, they need to keep doing that. So you improve performance because you make sure that the things that are already acquired, the things that are good, even if maybe there is a room for improvement, but it's on the right track, you make sure that they know that. But for the point of our conversation, it also increases self-esteem because people are made aware of the things that they do well. So it reinforces their belief that they are capable. And the issue with self-esteem is there is a belief behind that there is a lack of capabilities to do something.
Can we go into Naira's question?
Yeah,
She's
sure.
asking, is it that self-esteem forms early on and confidence comes later due to life experience? I'm falling back to Lauren if you want to chime in here and if we're not answering that question correctly, because it is a very it is your field of expertise. It is so I would actually say, is it that self-esteem forms early on and confidence comes later? When we're saying forming early on self-esteem, I think self-esteem needs to be built on a daily basis, right? Through what you just mentioned, reinforcing great behavior, great performance, the things that we do well, so that we are able to understand that there's also things that we're not going to do well, but yet that doesn't diminish us or makes us worth less.
I was about to go in the direction of Lauren for me, but I mean, it's a matter of semantic. For some people, it's important. For some people, it's not important. Self-esteem for me is more linked to some beliefs that we have that we're capable or not. Confidence is more towards the actual capability. So as she's saying, action breeds confidence. When for me, it's the beliefs that breeds the self-esteem. But I may be completely wrong. It's just my own view on that.
No, that I would agree. And so here's what I learned in terms of building my self-esteem up and improving myself, that I can do certain things that I haven't done before, right? And that is through action. And we're taking action every day. And the reason why we're not taking action is because we don't believe that we actually can. So it's a little circle that just keeps on going. So if you don't take action into something that you haven't done before, you will not find the proof that you actually can do it, and therefore you will not find the esteem in yourself and the confidence that you're capable of.
Or even worse, you find the proof that you're not capable because nothing is happening in your life.
Oh,
yeah, that's usually what happens.
Yeah,
because we don't do things, which is a choice. Not taking action is actually an action, and it's a choice. By not taking action, nothing happens in our life, and we reinforce that. So for example, if you think that no one cares about you and you're not calling your friends, then you know at some point they're not going to call you either, and you reinforce this.
Okay, so could we then say action builds, and not to action gives you self-esteem, which then breeds the confidence that we need in order to embrace new things, or to keep going with what we were doing, or think outside the box. I think that's
I have
definitely
a feeling that our sense of self-esteem is actually related to what we think are other people's views of us. Somehow, for me, in the self-esteem, there is a mirror of our perceived views of the others. And the only way to find and be really, to really be empowered by our own sense of self-esteem is when we manage to let go of that mirror. When we don't let other people thought, actions, or words towards us affect our own self-esteem.
I love that. And you know what, as a recovering people pleaser, and everybody that's on here knows exactly what I'm talking about. We've been through this so many times, that us wanting to, or putting our self-esteem and our self-worth into the hands of another person, the person that's sitting up front, the director, the audience, your other peers in the company, or whoever that might be for you, it is so important to remove that. And that was definitely for me a part that always kept me small, because I wasn't empowered myself. Like I never allowed myself to actually stand on my own 2 feet, to say, hey, I am great at this and I'm not good at this, and that's okay. So I think to get into the next stage of like really building your own self-esteem, to understand how great you are, you need to know what you're actually great at.
Yes.
Right?
That will be one step,
Yeah. And I know, Lauren, I remember when we had our first hot seat back in September for the FFM Mastermind, and we had to talk about our superpowers. And it was so hard, and it was my second round, and it was still hard for me to say what I'm great at. And it's still hard for me to this day to really zoom in, hey, what are actually my strengths? Because I think, well, what if I'm actually not able to offer that kind of value? What if I disappoint the other person? If I say I am a visionary and I help them to create something, and then it's not good enough for them, right? So that is where I still find struggles with, even though I have detected what I'm actually great at.
And if I can add my little cent here to help you and other people with that, I think it is because we assume that our strength means we're the best at that. No one else is better than that. And we will never be wrong, we will never fail. But to be great at something doesn't mean you're the only one, doesn't mean you're the best in the world, and doesn't mean you'll always be right. It just means you're good at it. If you're a good singer, sometimes you're gonna hit a wrong note. It happens.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. Thank you for that perspective. But
if you let go of this, then it's easier. I know I've been there. I'm not saying this is easy. I'm trying to help, so I look like I'm the mean one who knows everything. But no, it's just that what I mean here is we really need to be kind to ourselves and allow us to realize that a strength doesn't mean we're the only one, doesn't mean we're the best. Just
and
mean
we
we're
don't
good at
have
it.
to be, right? Like
Yeah.
moving that big burden off of our shoulders, that you don't have to be the best in order to be offering value. You don't have to be
Yes.
the best dancer, whatever that means to you. In
What does
order
that
to
mean,
have,
actually?
yeah, what does that even mean? Like that's a whole nother topic. To get the roles, or to find fulfillment,
Mm-hmm.
or to be seen, or all of these things, right? But
All you
it's
need is
some
to be good at provide something unique that makes it interesting.
provide value. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, well, wow, thanks for listening to our ramble and discovering our own thoughts. Yet another great IGTV um,
Yeah. If I
discovery
may add
channel.
something, because I think there is a second way to
Okay.
build your self-esteem that I think can be very useful for people who have very deep ingrained beliefs that are holding them back. Is to actually spend some time to realize those, to be aware of these beliefs and write them down, either physically or mentally in your brain. And then take some time, couple of days, couple of weeks, to identify real life situations that prove that this belief is wrong. When you have a belief that is really, really strong, this process is extremely important to go through self-esteem, because otherwise you'll never get to where you were talking about identifying your strength, because you're held back by those beliefs.
Oh,
So you
I
need to
love this.
destroy them
Yeah,
first. You
yeah.
really need to destroy them. And the only way to destroy them is to take some time to identify real life situations that prove this is wrong, until it gets to your brain and your brain starts thinking, okay, I used to think that, but there's actually no proof that this is true. I need to let go of this.
And when we're saying destroying,
The
just
belief.
know that they actually will come back periodically and show up in your life. It's building the awareness around that belief isn't the truth anymore. This is not what you are choosing to
Mm-hmm.
believe anymore, and you're literally removing that belief into the back seat. You
Yeah.
just tell it, hey, thanks so much for showing up. Thank you for reminding where. Look, I have to talk to them like that, honestly. Like, I was sitting on the
Stay
couch
in the back
yesterday.
and put your seatbelt
Yeah,
on.
on the back, and put the tape over your mouth. I don't want to hear you. So,
Yes,
but that's what it is, right? Like, and this is
definitely.
how granular we need to become in order to overcome of these beliefs. Otherwise, they are going to run your life, and you're
Yeah,
not even aware of that. And that's where the difference really, really lays, I would say. Yeah.
definitely. Yes.
Okay. Well, we
Well, I
saved the
hope that
world.
was self-esteem. I love that.
Yeah.
I hope that was useful for everyone. We're trying to be as practical as possible, just very simple key takeaway that you can implement right now. Don't wait until
Exactly.
tomorrow. Don't procrastinate.
Don't procrastinate. That was for me, just for me. Okay, sending you so
Everyone who
much
needs
love,
to hear it.
and we will see you tomorrow, same time, on the
On the
Point to Rise
Point Rise
account.
account.
and we're going to talk all about values.
Sure.
Sure. Okay.
Bye bye, everyone.
Get some sleep. Bye bye.